नमस्कार दोस्तों और जय हिंद। आप सभी को स्वागत है इन माय चैनल 1971 वॉर बुक सीरीज। तो दोस्तों आज हम रिगार्डिंग द 19 पंजाब रेजिमेंट के कंट्रीब्यूशंस के बारे में बात करेंगे इन द बांग्लादेश लिबरेशन वॉर ऑफ 1971। Regarding the 19 Punjab, I had taken an interview of somebody who was a second lieutenant in the 19 Punjab Regiment. His name is Major Sunil Kute. लेकिन आज इस बटालियन के फुल फ्लेजेड ऑपरेशंस के बारे में हम जानने के लिए in very much details we will be talking to the former Battalion Adjutant who was captain and later retired from the army as a Lieutenant Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel T.P. Singh himself was commissioned in the 19 Punjab Regiment. He served as the Battalion Adjutant in the 1971 Bangladesh operations, and he has the records of whatever action this battalion had taken part under the 73 Mountain Brigade of the 57 Mountain Division. From the Tripura border, it had moved all the way up to Dhaka, crossing the Meghna river in country boats. इस बटालियन के एक्शन भी of crossing the Meghna river was like many other battalions who took part in crossing the Meghna river in country boats, जो local boats बंगालियों के पास थे। लेकिन मेघना क्रॉसिंग को नॉर्मली हाईलाइट किया जाता है, मैंने भी किया है in my previous videos with other veterans regarding the special heliborne operations, जहां पे आई थिंक द एंटायर 311 माउंटेन ब्रिगेड वाज एयरलिफ्टेड अक्रॉस द मेघना रिवर। तो लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल टीपी सिंह अपने पूरे बटालियन के ऑपरेशनल हिस्ट्री के बारे में बताएंगे, राइट फ्रॉम इट्स डिप्लॉयमेंट इन द नॉर्थ ईस्ट इन काउंटर इंसर्जेंसी ऑपरेशंस टू द मूवमेंट अप टू द बांग्लादेश बॉर्डर इन त्रिपुरा एंड ऑल द वे अप टू ढाका। तो इस सब के बारे में जानने के लिए लेट्स वेलकम लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल टीपी सिंह टू आवर प्रोग्राम टुडे।
As decided, sir, we'll first start with you. I mean, your background of joining the Indian Armed Forces, and how did you end up being commissioned in the 19 Punjab? So, if you could go on with that, sir.
My family belongs to a well-educated farmer family. We migrated from West Pakistan and were allotted our claims in Sirsa.
Okay.
I completed my primary education till 6th class in a village school sitting on the mats.
Achha.
That school was constructed under the guidance of my father, who was Sarpanch of the village.
Okay.
After completing my 5th class, we were put in a government school at Sirsa, which was at a distance of 6 kilometers from our house. Me, my sister, my brothers and cousins, we used to cycle all the way 6 kilometers going, 6 kilometers coming back.
Achha.
And we got admitted in 6th class. And I completed my higher secondary in 1962 from that school.
Okay.
In a good first division, I was awarded 3rd prize in the whole of the class. Thereafter, I took admission in a pre-engineering, much against my wishes. My father wanted me to become an engineer,
Achha.
but I was not absolutely keen because I was not very well versed with the physics and chemistry. Anyway, I couldn't disappoint my father. I took admission. And I passed my next class after 3 years in 1965,
Okay.
pre-engineering. Then I applied for, emergency was declared, and after a preliminary interview, I applied in the Air Force 98 GDP course. I
Okay.
cleared the preliminary interview, went for SSB at Clementown, Dehradun, and as the luck could have it, my number didn't figure in the selection there. Then I applied for Short Service Commission. I cleared the preliminary interview at Ambala area headquarters. And then after I was to appear in a selection board at Merit, I got selected.
Okay.
As the luck could have it, I was medically temporarily rejected because of the dorsal callusitis on my both the fingers of the feet. I had to got myself operated, then put up a request again. I was considered again in the medical board and thus cleared. And finally, I joined OTA in August 1997.
Officers
And
Training
after
Academy.
Academy OTS, that time OTS Officers Training School,
Right.
Madras. Now it is of course OTA
Chennai.
Chennai.
Right.
After 10 months of rigorous training, I passed out on 23rd of June and I was commissioned into Punjab Regiment and was given 19 Punjab.
This was which year, sir?
This was in 23rd of June 1968.
68. Okay.
My battalion, I won't say my battalion, our battalion, only CO has the prerogative to say my battalion.
Mm-hmm.
Our battalion had just come after fighting, taking part in 1965 operations. They did very well. They captured Badori at an altitude of 12,300 feet.
Mm-hmm.
My first CO who raised the battalion, late Brigadier Puran Singh, he was awarded MEC BRC for the whole of operations. And we got the Battle Honor Badori and couple of other decorations. Battalion came down to Meerut for a peace tenure. After I joined the battalion, we stayed in Meerut. 1970 battalion was asked to move to field area in an insurgency operations in Mizo Hills, now Mizoram.
Okay.
We all moved by train. In the transshipment was done at Bongaigaon because till Bongaigaon was the broad gauge and thereafter it was meter gauge.
Achha.
And I was given the assignment of the baggage officers. The whole entire responsibility of loading, unloading was on me,
Mm-hmm.
and which I successfully did it. And we reached Silchar
Mm-hmm.
roadhead. From there, we were given a transport, and we came to a place called Lailapur, which was designated as our rear location.
Okay.
That time, Eastern Command counter-insurgency school was located at Frankte, and we had to undergo for a training nearly for about a month in the counter-insurgency operations, and we were cleared
Mm-hmm.
to take part in insurgency operations. Thereafter, battalion moved to a particular place in transport. From there, we moved in different columns to our respective locations,
Okay.
walking for about 7 to 8 days, carrying a man pack of rations, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Battalion headquarters was located at a distance of about 6 to 7 hours march from the roadhead, whereas other company and platoon post was much in the interior, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day march
Okay.
from battalion headquarters. Our farthest post was Marpara, which was in Chakma belt, close to the border of the East Pakistan that time.
Marpara. Okay.
Marpara. It was a Chakma belt.
Okay.
Chakma is a tribe
Mm-hmm.
which is commonly residing in Mizoram.
Mm-hmm.
They are much away from Loshai peoples.
Okay.
They have their different cultures and traditions.
Now, can I ask one thing, sir? Like, as your unit was deployed in counter-insurgency roles, what kind of, action did you take against the Mizo insurgents for the time being, sir?
We created our own network, our own sources, and we used to get the information as to where hostiles are coming or camping or what action they are taking place. Accordingly, we sent our patrols and laid ambushes to nab those peoples,
Okay.
hostiles.
Okay.
And we were very successful, and we had a very successful tenure in Mizoram before we were de-inducted for 71 operations.
Okay.
One of our officers was awarded Shaurya Chakra, one Sena Medal, and one Chief of Army Staff Commendation card.
Could you
In-
help me, sir, in providing the battalion orbat, like who are the officers and who are commanding which company? If you could talk about that, sir, including yourself as you are the
When we-
battalion adjutant.
Okay, when we were inducted from Meerut to Mizoram, we were under the command of an officiating CO,
Mm-hmm.
late Major P.S. Alawat.
Okay.
Okay. Under his command, we completed our training and all these things. and thereafter Alpha Company Commander was late Major Ramchandra Malik. Bravo Company Commander was let me recapitulate. Charlie Company Commander was late Colonel Major G.S. Dhami. Delta Company Commander was Major V.D. Sharma. SP Company Commander was Major Garewal, and I was that time in performing the duties of IO in the battalion.
Okay. Intelligence officer.
Intelligence officers. And my job was only to collect, correlate the information and the setup which we used to get from the companies, and then we used to pass on to the brigade headquarters.
Okay.
In March, April, we had a new CO, Colonel Lieutenant Colonel J.K. Kohli took over the command of 19 Punjab.
Mm-hmm.
He came to us from 7 Punjab after doing his staff college. Very fine and brilliant officer. God bless his soul.
March 1971, right, sir?
1971.
Okay.
And thereafter, in the same month, I think April, I was appointed adjutant for battalion. My job was to coordinate the instructions and orders given by the commanding officer and pass on to the companies, and compilation of the setup and all these things. In our brigade, we were part of 73 Mountain Brigade, part of a newly raised 57 Mountain Division, which was located at Basimpur near Silchar.
Mm-hmm.
In our brigade, apart from the regular infantry battalions, we had a BSF battalion.
Achha.
This BSF battalion had a BOP border outpost at Dimagiri, which was very close to the then East Pakistan border.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after the general election, which were conducted in the month of March in Bangladesh, and
I think 1970 elections, right, sir? December.
Searchlight was in March 1971.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So March 70 elections were conducted where Awami League won the thumping majority,
Mm-hmm.
and they were denied the premiership of Pakistan. Okay? And thereafter, a lot of things took place, and in March 1971, I think Yahya and Bhutto visited East Pakistan, and the moment they left, he passed the orders, carry on. And in March 1971, massacre took place, and a lot of atrocities were committed on whole of the intelligentsia, students, teachers, engineers, doctors. And there started an influx of refugees to India. Dimagiri, being very close to the international border, had a share of such people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was reflected in the situation report, which we used to get.
Refugees were coming to Demagiri.
I won't say refugees, but such you can call refugee along with the refugees. Such educated people, teachers, doctors, professors, they also started coming to this side of the border.
Okay.
This side of the border. They used to narrate their tales, horrifying details, atrocities which were being committed there in Bangladesh.
Mm-hmm.
So all these activities were reflected in the situation report, and in our brigade, all these situation reports were shared by each battalion.
Okay.
So we used to correlate and gather the information, and came to the conclusion that some dark clouds are building up in the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime in the month of September, end of August, my CO had gone for a senior command. Earlier it used to be a staff officer course, senior officer course. That time it was designated as senior command number 1 course. We had gone for the course, and I was the adjutant of the battalion. Our officiating CO was late Major P.S. Alawat. After our mess dinner, we had retired to our bashas. In those days, some people had Petromaxes, some people had Hurricane lanterns and all these things. I came to my basha, and I changed into my night dress, and moment I was lowering the wick of my Hurricane lantern, I heard our bravo one operator Matthew, good old Matthew, I don't know where he is, shouting emergency, emergency, emergency. So moment I heard, I spoke to myself, I only hope there's no attack of hostiles on any of the posts or firing something or this thing. When he
Mm-hmm.
came inside, Matthew said some emergency signal, half-page signal, which read, "Be prepared to undertake operations in a reverent train." So
River and
our
train. Okay.
reverent train, because Bangladesh is a reverent train.
Mm-hmm.
So we could gather, I think, the clouds which were building up, so we could anticipate. Now I think things have come to a.
And this was in which month, sir? In
This
1971?
was sometime in the month of August, September,
Okay.
1971.
Mm-hmm.
And after 3 4 days, we get another signal, hand over everything to BSF, no, Assam Rifles, move with your first line ammunition and arms and ammunition. Hand over. And rightly so, within another 1 or 2 days, Assam Rifles people came. They went to each and every post. Very soft handing taking over was done. And we de-inducted and got concentrated at a rear location, Lelapur near Masulpur. From there, the transport was made available to us, and then we got concentrated in the jungles of Teliamora in Tripura.
Acha.
And by then, our commanding officer had joined from Central Command Post. He took stock of the situation, and we started preparing. We were under Modification M. There are two modifications. Modification M, this is called mountains, and Modification P, which is in the plains.
Okay.
That different setup is there. And since the things were, it was a semi sort of a mountainous plain terrain. So all deficiencies were made on war footing. We started preparing ourselves. We rehearsed our battle procedure so that we could undertake any operation which is going to be assigned to us.
Mm-hmm.
And much before the start of the war, we conducted nibbling operations. First nibbling operation was capture of Kasba. Kasba was a BOP in front of our Kamalpur BOP, our Indian Kamalpur BOP. It was surrounded, it was in a well-built location. A company of Mukti force was assigned to capture this. We were assigned the role to support them.
Acha.
So Mukti Bani got pinned down and our Delta company was launched.
This was in
Under
October,
Major-
right, sir?
This was in October.
Acha, acha. Okay.
Delta company under the command of Major Vishnu Das Sharma was launched and we captured the objective very successfully.
Okay.
Thereafter, next nibbling operation was capture of Chandrapur. Aim of capturing Chandrapur was to induce Pakistan to attack us
Okay.
after we had taken possession of Chandrapur,
Acha.
because Chandrapur was surrounded by various Pakistani posts
Mm-hmm.
which were held by platoon level, company level, and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
It was a company attack.
This was in which month again, sir?
This was in 22nd of November,
November.
1971.
Okay.
Attack was to go carried out by the Mukti Bani, the company of Mukti Bani. They moved, they got pinned down. Then our Bravo company was launched under late Major G.S. Garewal. They started moving, they went about 100 yards, they got pinned down. Major Garewal got a direct burst of the MMG, seriously injured. He was evacuated, taken to a medical aid post, and later he's come to his injuries. Command of the companies was taken over by a Naib Subra Janak Singh, who was a mortar fire controller. There was another company officer. He was slightly away from the company headquarters location. As the thing moved, our commanding officer moved our officiating 2IC Major Parminder Singh to take control of the company. He immediately was inducted, and within no time he reached there under heavy fire and took command of the company, and objective was cleared in the morning. All those who were dead, they were brought back, 11 dead and 27 wounded. All 21 officer and 2 JCOs and 9 other ranks,
Mm-hmm.
and 27 wounded. Wounded, of course, were brought. They were given the dressing at the medical aid post, and a mass cremation was given by us. That time we had a Charlie company in depth, commanded by Major J.R. Bhatti, now Major General retired J.R. Bhatti, and myself. We both gave them a mass funeral on the road from Chandrapur to Agartala. Now, of course, a war memorial has been constructed by one of our officers who commanded 57 Mountain Dip.
Acha.
It has come up in a nice manner. Then, much before the declaration of the war, actual war, we all, the whole of the officers of the 57 Mountain Dev, they were addressed by the GOC, GOC Major General Gonzalez, who had raised the division, towering personality who hailed from Goa, and he addressed in the circuit house at Agartala, and no specific arrangements were made. Officers who had the walking stick with them, they brought, otherwise the tarpaulins were spread, we all squatted on them and sat. He spoke to us nearly for about 1 hour, gave numerous examples of various actions fought by in the World War II and Indian Army. And finally summed up, gentlemen, wars are won in the hearts and minds of commander, and here we go. That was his closing address. That gave impetus to all of us, and we carried on further. And on 2nd of December, actual war was declared, and we were assigned. Our battalion was asked to capture Bazaar, a BOP in front of. Asked to capture Bazaar border outpost.
Okay.
Opposite Agartala. It was held by a company plus Razakars.
Razakar, not Pakistani.
Razakars. Razakars.
Not Pakistanis, right, sir?
The Pakistani, they had Razakars also in their army.
Right. Okay.
It was the complete locality was in a linear fashion.
Okay.
HR was early in the morning, and we were allocated a troop of armor in fire support role.
Could you repeat that troop of armor for fire support role?
Spoke to the brigade commander. I said, sir, my HR is considerably delayed, and I am moving without the fire support. And it was a battalion attack. Both Alpha and Delta company, they were there, they were launched, and lot of firing, artillery firing, even the strafing by the air was also taking place. We could capture the objective, and total of 27 bunkers were spotted, and lot of ammunition and other weapons which we gathered.
So this was a complete battalion attack without
battalion
armor
attack.
support?
Without armor support.
Okay.
It was a 2-company attack, and 2 companies were in reserve.
Okay.
Battalion attack.
Another question, sir. After the death of Major Grewal, who took over the company? That
company command of the company was taken over by Naib Subedar Jana Singh, who was the MFC mortar fire controller.
Uske baad, sir. That's what I was.
Uske baad, Major Parminder Singh, who was officiating second in command of the battalion,
Okay.
he was inducted into the scene, Chandrapur, and he took over the command of the company. And thereafter, his responsibility was to capture the objective, bring back all the deads and the casualties.
Acha, matlab he was 2IC and also company commander now.
Officiating 2IC.
Officiating 2IC.
And he happened to be my Mamaji.
Acha, acha, acha. Okay, wonderful. Acha, acha. Okay. So
we both had on various occasions we used to have a lot of tiffs amongst each other, because I used to pass orders, and sometime he used to feel that I am being overshadowing him.
I mean, you are the adjutant, of course. You had to.
Being adjutant, so I had to. We had time very straightforward.
Right. So after, so Colonel Bazaar was taken, and after this, what was your next objective, sir?
Then in the evening, before we proceeded
this
further,
was 3rd December, right, sir?
This was 3rd December.
Okay.
Before we proceeded further for any assigned task, let me also tell you, our brigade, our battalion was put on a diversionary axis.
Achha.
Main axis was on Okhoda. We were, our 73 Mountain Brigade was on a diversionary axis.
Achha, achha.
Okay. And the evening, once we had reorganized ourselves, our GOC came along with the staff officer and as a rover. he brought a case of whiskey,
Acha.
King's Blend. I know that time the King's Blend was very famous whiskey for all of us. And thereafter we proceeded further, went on 6th of December. We reached place called that was on the CNB road, clearing minor opposition. Even we had to launch a feint attack on that day. And in the morning when we checked up, Pakistanis had fled, leaving couple of deads, and lot of ammunition was recovered.
This was the
Thereafter,
Kumilla Brahmanbadia Road, CNB, right, sir?
CNB Comilla Barmari Road. This is known as C and B Road.
Okay.
And thereafter we started moving towards Barumbaria, and on 6th we reached Barumbaria, and from there we were again given the task to move towards Bhatwara. And we moved Bhatwara, clearing any opposition which was in between. And finally on I think 9th of December, when we had reached the home bank of River Meghna, that is the eastern bank of River Meghna. I will show you the picture of River Meghna, how we crossed, a place from where we crossed two tributaries of River Meghna. And it was around 1 o'clock we had reached there, and walking, we all wanted that we will have a bit of a respite. And sometime in around 5 o'clock, as I was outside passing various instructions given by the commanding officer, I saw brigade commander at that time, Brigadier M.L. Toli, along with the staff officer and rover approaching. He asked me, where is JK? Our CEO was Nishita JK. He was fondly known amongst equals and senior as JK. I said, sir, he's talking to the company commanders. I ushered him to the Basha where CEO was there talking to the company commanders. And moment our commander entered, he said, JK, I want you to cross Meghna right now.
Right now.
As right now, troops have landed by helicopters and the race towards Dhaka. But having reached the eastern bank of River Meghna, it was not a relaxed time for us. Apart from that, we started gathering all the intelligence and started looking for the local boats in case we had to cross the River Meghna, because no engineer support was made available. And finally, that came true when our when our brigade commander came. I crossed River Meghna just now as the race is towards Dhaka. So we could muster about 10 local boats, and we started in waves crossing the River Meghna. River Meghna had two tributaries. There was a big island in between. The total distance from the eastern to western bank was about 5 kilometers.
Okay.
And as the luck would have it, on that day, no RT shelling was going on, because Pakistan had a artillery which used to fire star shell. It used to
Airburst.
airburst, and that was most dangerous. And I think that the Almighty God was with us. Even one LMG sighted in the island could have played merry hell with us. So with all God's grace and our Ma Jai Durga's blessing, the entire battalion crossed and got concentrated at a place called Algi after crossing both the tributaries of Brahmaputra. In the morning, from the upstream, this sound came as if the tanks are moving. So our company commander, Delta company commander, who was a vanguard company commander, he passed the message, tanks are moving. So we had no anti-tank support other than anti-tank guns, which were slightly in the rear, being pushed further. And on reaching, it was a launch carrying passengers, which created a sort of panic for us. So by early in the morning on 10th of December, the entire battalion got concentrated at the place called Algi, and then we pushed, moved towards Daulat-Kandi railway station, which was in between Bazaar, Daulat-Kandi.
Okay,
Daulat-Kandi. It was a small little railway station with no structures, but trains passing through used to halt over there. Having reached there, we carried out patrolling and all these things, and our aim of being sent to this place was to contain Bhaira Bazaar.
Bhairab
Bhaira Bazaar has a division, less a brigade located over there, Pakistan 14 Infantry Team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the actual thing is, during this period, there was an announcement of the Pakistan radio that 19 Punjab has been completely wiped out.
Okay, fake news.
Wiped out. Even my schoolmates and college mates, when they heard this news, they all got together and they mourned my death.
Okay.
My mother went to Gurdwara day and in and out to pray for my well-being. But then when General Sagat came to know, he purposely put us on this axis to give a lie to the Pakistan broadcast which they had given that 19 Punjab has been wiped out.
Acha.
Aim of sending 19 Punjab to cross Meghna and then contain Bhaira Bazaar was very important, because these troops had landed by helicopters and they were rushing towards Dhaka, and Pakistan 14 Infantry Lesser Brigade was at Dhaka. Any influx of these troops could have changed the situation in Dhaka.
Mm-hmm.
So we contained this Pakistan 14 Infantry Day very well, and on 16th of December, when the instrument of surrender was signed between Lieutenant General Arora and Pakistani Army AK Niazi, and then our Corps Commander General Sagat Singh, he instructed our GOC, you go and take a surrender of the Pakistani troops at Bhaira Bazaar and bring back the GOC and the two brigade commanders so that they are not harmed. So there was a from Daulat Kandi to Bhaira Bazaar, complete area was mined with anti-personnel mines.
Okay.
And we were provided a infantry safe lane. Still, notwithstanding the safety which was given to us, we sent an officer to mark the helipad. That duty was assigned to Major Parminder Singh, being the senior most that time. And on 17th, when we were moving, I was like a young soldier moving in the head of the column, and finally I saw a RP chap, regimental police chap, at my head. CO साहब ने बोला रुक जाओ.
Acha.
So when CO, she was slightly about 20 to 30 yards behind me, he asked me, you bugger, keep 2-3 chaps in front of you. Should you die, whom will I replace as the adjutant in the thick of the situations? Not that the life of the other soldiers was not dear to him. So I realized then I had 2-3 people walking ahead of me, and finally we reached Dhaka and Bhaira Bazaar.
Bhairab Bazaar.
And after some time the helicopter landed. GOC was received by our commanding officer and Major Parminder Singh, and Pakistani GOC, that GOC 14 Infantry Day for Pakistan, General Abdul Majid Khan was also there. Moment our GOC alighted from the helicopter, Pakistani GOC went forward, tried to shake hand with him. He said, hold. Our GOC was very angry, red faced, I said, you have been torturing my people, that guards people who were burnt alive, captured and burnt alive.
4 guards.
And four guard. He was very angry. One could see the anger on his face. And
I think Pakistan committed numerous
where's your
violations
weapon?
of Geneva Conventions.
yes, certainly they did. They did, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, before I shake hand with you, you hand over your weapon to me. This is the biggest insult to a soldier, to hand over his weapon on surrender. He said, I don't carry any weapon. He said, you beg, borrow, arrange. Then his staff officers who were in the hearing range, they arranged a pistol for him. He handed over the pistol to our GOC. Then he shook hand. He said, fine, accepted the surrender. Thereafter, he accepted the tea and pakoras which they had arranged from the Pakistan side. After the surrender was taken, GOC called all our officers, commanding officer, 2IC, and all company commanders and youngsters, even some of the JCOs who were there. He said, "Gentlemen, now the surrender has taken place. Now these officers and men are your men." Our GOC accepted the surrender. Thereafter, he addressed all the officers and some of the JCOs who were around. He said, "Gentlemen, now I have taken the surrender of troops located at Bazaar. Treat them as your own officers and men.
Mm-hmm.
These officers will dine in your mess. They'll be received by someone and offered the food first." Look at the magnanimity of the Indian Army.
Right. I mean,
Greatness.
if this was opposite case, I wouldn't have expected this treatment from
And
the enemy.
literally we treated those officers like this only.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, roughly about uh, they had about 91 major general, 2 brigadiers, and about 93, 94 officers and 4,000 something troops. We took control of the arms and ammunition, and since they surrendered, there was a ceremony. Everybody surrendered their arms. We took over all the ammunition, arms in our custody, handed them over to the prisoner of war camp. And battalion reached Dhaka. Finally, we were accommodated in a college, entire battalion, and we officers were given accommodation in MNA hostel, Member National Assembly hostel,
Okay.
very posh building, and we established our mess over there.
Mm-hmm.
And first night when we reached there, after walking a lot of time, we had got used to sleeping by spreading our waterproof pani palla, called pani palla, normal parlance. And we were three of us in one room, myself, IO, and quartermaster.
This was your first night in Dhaka.
First night in Dhaka.
Acha.
And thereafter, as things moved, CO went on leave. Officiating CO was late Major Ramchandra Malak, and we were asked to take. No, but battalion was assigned the responsibility of looking after some of the posh localities which were being targeted by Bengalis. There were some rich people, well-to-do people staying in Dhan Mandi and other localities.
These
And
people
they were
collaborated with the Pakistanis.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Or else
They
why
were
would they be targeted, right?
they were being called Bihari Muslims.
Acha, acha.
So that because you see, after the surrender was signed and Bangladesh was declared as an independent nation, these peoples were free. It was free for all. They were trigger happy. There was no dearth of ammunition and all these things. And you would find every now and then vehicles moving on on the roadside. They were firing in the air.
Acha.
So it was a difficult situation for us to control. Even the entire troops of the Indian Army were deployed in various pockets to take guard such action by the local. And on one occasion, we got a message that film troop is coming, led by Sunil Dutt, Kamal Amroi, Asha Parekh, Bala Sinha, Lata Mangeshkar, and we were asked to make arrangements for them. And since I was the senior most subaltern, I asked a couple of juniors, go run to the field ambulances, get beds, chadars and all this thing, make some rooms ready. And I, along with our officiating commanding officer, late Major R.C. Malk, went to Dhaka airport. And when this Dakota carrying these people landed there, Brigadier Compounde was there. He took all the good looking people in the Mercedes and the cabs to hotels. And finally, Tabla party came to our chair. So we brought them to our mess, looked after them, and they regaled us with their performance. We were not envious all the thing, but we looked after them. It was a good show given by them. They stayed with us for 2 nights. and they gave us the performance in our unit, and we were very much thankful to you. So
And what
that
were
was
the
all.
and what were the internal security duties you had to do for the 3 months or 2 months that you had to stay, sir?
Okay, when Mujib landed in Dhaka at the Kurmitala airport.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, the international airport has come up. Our battalion was assigned the uh, internal security ring around that place. So
Acha.
I myself, as a adjutant, carrying my stain gun on my shoulder, I saw late Mujibur Rahman
Acha, acha.
getting down from the British chartered aircraft, touching the ground, and thereafter he was whisked away because of security reason.
Right.
So apart from looking after various pockets of Dhaka, we were assigned this big role of providing a uh, security circle around the place where late Mujibur Rahman was to land.
Okay.
So
Uh,
stay was very comfortable there, and I think the entire operation went up very well. And I must say, before the start of operation, the Eastern Command had done a fantastic job. They had prepared for conducting this operation very well. They had all the resources made available to us, equipment and all this thing, information. We were given a big folder weighing about 5 to 8 kgs, which carried entire information, topographical features, geographical features, name of each and every village, uh, in case of any emergency, whom to contact. And I, as an adjutant, made sure that this is carried by my INP boys, and wherever stuck, I used to refer that folder. Along with that, certain amount as military MI fund, military intelligence fund was also given. No records were to be maintained. Uh, we were we created our intelligence sources by utilizing that money, and
acha.
instruction
And
as
sir,
per
at
the
that time,
instruction.
Mukti Vahini was your primary intelligence. You also.
Yes, yes. I'll come to that. And the entire money which was unspent was refunded back after the operations. Now,
Okay.
you had a question that how the 19 Punjab was involved in the conduct of training of Mukti Bahini. I
Mm-hmm.
was not directly involved. Being an adjutant, I was at a different place, but we had sent officers, JCOs, and men who were weapon qualified to undertake the training of Mukti Bahini in various camps, which were looked after by late Major General Shubek Singh, that Brigadier Shubek Singh,
Brigadier Shabik Singh. He was, I think, in
Shubek
charge
Singh,
of Delta sector, the entire
Delta
Delta
sector.
sector. Right,
Uh,
right.
this Mukti Bahini training, these camps were under him.
Mm-hmm.
So we sent a couple of officers, JCOs, and men who had done weapon course to impart training to the Mukti Bahini.
Okay.
And for the entire operations, we had a lot of local populace support with us.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the regular Mukti Bahani or Mukti force, these locals carried our ammunition, our loads, because we were on man-pack basis right from the time we crossed international border till the time we reached Meghna.
Mm-hmm.
And the big support was made available to this. At time where our BH lawn could not fetch up, they even arranged foods for us, rice,
Mm-hmm.
fresh bananas and all this thing.
Public
Great
support
help
was
was
full
provided.
for you. Yeah.
Uh, Local populace support was to the extent which cannot be described.
Mm-hmm.
It was in a big way. It was in a big way.
Right. Now, sir, another question. Have you been invited to Bangladesh ever for the victory Day
Yes, yes,
celebrations?
yes.
Acha.
You see, every between the agreement between India and Bangladesh, they had an agreement. India used to send a contingent of officers on their victory day. Similarly, uh, Bangladesh used to send a contingent to India on the same time. So in 2022, December 2022, I applied myself for my wife to the Army Headquarters designated department, and I was asked to be a part of the contingent moving to attend Victory Day parade.
Mm-hmm.
So we concentrated on 12th of December 2020 at Delhi. 13th of December there was a briefing to all of us, and 14th
2020.
we
Could you
embarked on
repeat that again, sir?
22,
22.
22, 22.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, and on 14th of December we embarked on a Dhaka Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was all kind courtesy by them. We had not to pay any airfare,
Mm-hmm.
and we reached Dhaka International Airport and taken to the Hotel Radisson, and we stayed there till the time we departed from there on 19th of December. During our stay, we had a couple of events which we attended, laying wreath on the war memorial which they had constructed, attending their Victory Day parade.
Mm-hmm.
They hosted us.
Mm-hmm.
Their minister for liberation had
Mm-hmm.
hosted all the entire contingent in Intercontinental Hotel.
Acha, acha.
Uh, and he was highly appreciative of the Indian government in getting them liberated.
Right.
Uh, and Indian High Commission also hosted us. Even the former Mukti Bani officers who were in the helm of affairs, they also arranged a dinner for us, big party for the entire contingent.
Right. That's lovely, sir. Indeed, you have been honored for your
As far
part in the
as
war.
uh,
Now, sir,
rest,
I
I
would
can
like to
let me
know a
see.
bit about your rest of the career in the Indian Army before retirement. Mm-hmm.
I say I after the 71 war, we came back inducted into Mizo Hall for
Back to
his
Mizo Hill,
roles,
right, sir?
and
Mizo Hill.
in 90 Mizo Hill, that time Mizo Hill, later on Mizoram,
Okay.
and we again finally de-inducted in 1974 when the big railway strike was there.
Acha.
In 1974, we had to stay in Silchar for about couple of months till the time rail service was resumed. And then we reached Dalhousie, and then
Mm-hmm.
after that I was posted on a staff appointment. And finally, so many things happened, good and bad. And then I was with the battalion in high altitude. I suffered a heart attack. I was put into low medical category. And finally, good thing happened. I became P2 permanent. I could pick up my rank. I retired as a substantive selection grade lieutenant colonel.
Okay.
So it was a good inning. And post retirement life is very good. I have settled down at Patiala. Post retirement life is playing golf and socialization.
Acha, acha.
God had
Wonderful.
been, Almighty God had been very kind. We do not have to look back for anything.
Mm-hmm.
We have been blessed with all the happiness which we needed after post retirement.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful.